And a short time ago, I was joined from Canberra by Labor backbencher Senator Doug Cameron. Senator Cameron, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Are you anticipating that Anthony Albanese will run for the Labor leadership? And if so, who will you back between him and Bill Shorten?
Well, I honestly don't know if Anthony is going to run. I've known Anthony for many years, and he would be an excellent leader of the party. And until there is, someone to actually determine my vote on, I just can't tell you. So there has to be two candidates to actually make a choice.
Just so that we can be clear, when you say Anthony Albanese would be an excellent candidate, does that mean that you prefer him to the potential Bill Shorten leadership?
No, I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that until I know who the candidates are, it's a bit hypothetical for me to be arguing vote one way or the other. Anthony needs the time, I think, to make his determination, and he will do that in good time.
Do you think that a contested ballot poses any sort of problem for the party?
Absolutely not. I just couldn't disagree more with Stephen Conroy. And I mean, I disagree with Stephen Conroy on a lot of things, you know, but on this one, I just don't understand where he's coming from. In 2010, I was in the UK, and there was a contested ballot for the leadership of the Labour Party in the UK. It was a fantastic process. It was talking about policy. It was talking about values. It was talking about vision, and it engaged the rank and file members of the Labour Party in the UK. Our members should have the same right here.
What happens, though, if you end up with a situation under these new rules that have been put in for Labor where the caucus votes for one person but the rank and file prefers somebody else?
Well, so be it. If the caucus, I mean, the caucus won't vote one way or another in a contested ballot. There will be some will vote one way and some the other. So then you have to tally up who gets the most votes across the party, and it's about whether the caucus runs the party or whether the whole membership run the party. And I would rather have a more democratic, broad-based determination of the leadership. And so if there is a ballot, I don't see it as anything other than a good democratic process.
But will it weaken the person's authority if it's discovered that they either had, not enough support in the caucus or not enough support among the rank and file, and that it did differ between the way ordinary members thought and caucus members thought?
Absolutely not, because when you become the leader, it brings with it plenty of responsibility, but it also brings plenty of authority. And people will come in behind whoever wins a ballot, if there is a ballot.
That doesn't always happen, though. I mean, it didn't happen when Julia Gillard was installed, and then it didn't necessarily happen when Kevin Rudd was just recently reinstalled either.
Well, I'm not going to traverse over that ground because, someone asked me today, should we have some more bloodletting? My view is that we are almost anemic. There should be no more bloodletting. We should cauterise the wounds. We should go on with looking after the issues that the membership of the party want, that the community who voted for Labour in their millions want, and that is to continue to have a strong policy on climate change, on health, on education, on the NBN, on industrial relations.
But to play devil's advocate, if you can't have a warts and all discussion and just a frank dissection of what's gone on in the party after an election loss and after what's gone on over the past 3 to 6 years, well, when can you have that discussion?
Well, there will be a warts and all analysis, and the Secretariat do that, and I'm sure, people will come out and put their point of view. My point of view on the goings-on in the Labour Party over the last few years are well known. I don't want to go over them again, because I want to talk about holding the coalition to account on some of their crazy policies.
How will the new leader, whoever it is, be able to draw a line under the Rudd-Gillard era as long as Kevin Rudd sits on the back bench?
Absolutely no problem. I just don't buy this argument that we should submit ourselves to a by-election because some people don't like Kevin Rudd. That is a political nonsense, and we should get over that and just go on with the fact that he is the elected member and that he's entitled to sit in the caucus, he's entitled to contribute. I welcome that, and I don't want a by-election in Queensland.
Is it possible for Kevin Rudd to ever become Prime Minister again?
No.
Why do you say that?
Because I just think, Kevin's been Prime Minister on 2 occasions. I think he himself has outlined his position. He had a long valedictory speech the other night. That's the end of Kevin Rudd, I think, in terms of leadership aspirations.
The ALP was very critical of Tony Abbott's opposition. You were very damning of his relentless negativity. Does that mean that we can expect a different sort of opposition from Labor?
Oh, look, I think Labour has to look at how Tony Abbott conducted himself and have a look at whether there are lessons to be learnt from how Tony Abbott conducted himself. But I would prefer to have debates on policy issues, not on the nonsense that went on, because I don't think anyone knows what direct action means in the country. I don't think anyone knows how the paid parental leave scheme is going to be properly funded. Nobody knew about the costings. I think Labour needs to be better than that, and Labour needs to respect the role of Parliament.
By that, do you mean that if policy is put forward and on its merits it's decent policy, even if it is proposed by the coalition, that Labor should be prepared to support it rather than just opposing on principle?
Well, on some policies that would be the case, but on some of the fundamental policies, such as climate change, my view is we are on the right side of history. We need to articulate our position strongly. I've got 2 grandkids, wonderful grandkids, and I want them to have a decent environment and have a future. I just don't believe that we can adopt the nonsense that the coalition are putting forward, and I will be arguing in the caucus and on the floor and elsewhere that we should maintain our position on a price on carbon, a market-based price.
Is it wishful thinking for people to imagine that Labor could be returned to government after just 1 term?
No, it's not. Because we have a situation where the coalition have got huge challenges. As I've said, their policies were not well articulated. It was all slogans leading up to the election. It was very powerful how they took their position up. It worked very well. But now they're in government. It's a different ball game. And I think we've got an opportunity to expose the lies and misrepresentation that was put forward by the coalition.
Senator Cameron, thank you very much.
Thank you.